Jitendra Jadhav from speaking on CSIR's vision in aerospace engineering.
It's a very difficult topic because aerospace vision. Aerospace is a very emerging field. I will try to tell you what is the work done in and what is the future. So as per me, the definition of aerospace is like a combination of aeronautics and astronautics. So aeronautics is which is flown below the Earth's atmosphere, and astronautics which are the vehicles flown beyond the Earth's atmosphere. And aerospace is the fascinating science behind the forces of nature and physical properties of the spacecraft, rockets, and this. So CSR has started aerospace in 60s, and there are a lot of technologies and facilities has developed. However, major thing has happened in 90s and before 90s, where light combat aircraft technologies was developed by CSR, which is, we will come to one by one guide. Then we developed SARAS aircraft, which is a 14-seater aircraft, and then recently all Drishti, biojet fuels, and a lot of two important facilities which we are using by DRDO and ISRO as well as our has been developed till 2015. Now we have three clear-cut roadmaps, that is aerospace materials, technologies, and civil aircrafts. In the materials, we are planning to take all light weight alloys, shape memory alloys, thermoplastic composites, coatings, resins, lubricants, stealth materials. So this will be a vision till 2025. And in aircrafts, we will be taking a 2-seater, 19-seater, 70-seater, and electric propulsion aircraft till 2035. And the technologies, we will be taking a lot of sensors, batteries, radomes, structural health monitoring, AMCA, all these technologies. So this is what the vision, and these are the activities which we will be concentrating including skill development. So these are the participating lab which CSR has made on our theme of aerospace engineering, and there are about 7 participating labs which are participating in this whole vision of the Director General of CSIR. So just I will take you through the contributions that what CSR has been done. For the Tejas LCA, the complete composites, by-wires, e-job technology was developed by NAIL. Then for customized robotic system and beamline system, a lot of contribution has been done by Simeri. IIT has done a BrahMos ramjet fuel and recently Biojet aviation fuel. And CSIR has developed the head-up displays and synthetic visions. Also C has developed a space traveling wave tubes, acoustic sensors, CGCRI glass beads here, and a lot of aerospace materials like composites, magnesium, aluminum alloys, carbon fiber, shape memory alloys, and some few vehicle engines and autoclaves has also developed for the last 2 decades. And the important facilities, which are wind tunnel facilities, one of the most prestigious facility, where all the missiles, civil, fighter aircrafts, and ISRO projects are get tested over here, which is one of the best, and the acoustic testing facility for satellite and GSLV top. So the lot of contribution has been done from last 2 to 3 decades, and the socio-economic impact is unmeasurable. So the major thrust areas for the aerospace, we are finding aviation, then facilities, then aerospace electronics, then instrumentation, materials, coatings, and mechanical systems. So this is what we would like to drive the CSR vision towards aerospace. So this is the roadmap of the civil aircrafts, where today we are having a SARAS PT-1M, and by 2024 this PT-1M will be converted to Mark II, which is 19-seater, and then by 2030 we will be developing 70 to 80 seater, and then slowly we'll move to the hybrid aircraft, which is electrical or electro fuels. Similarly, there is a clear-cut fighter aircraft. We have LCA, Mark 1, Mark A, Mark 2, Navy, and then 2035 there will be an advanced medium compact aircraft. So this is the ministry and the country's vision and the roadmap which has come from the many of the documents. So I will just run through the fighter aircraft. The fighter aircrafts HF-24, which has been developed by HAL in 1967, there was no development for almost 35 years in the country. So there where the aerospace has lagged much behind. And then 2001 the LCA, which is the 4th generation fighter, has 3 variants, and now it is going into, by 2025 it is becoming the advanced medium compact aircraft, which is with all stealth and sensor fusion and all these things will come to it. So these are the technologies which is developed by CSIR. LCA is called a 4th generation aircraft, which is one of the 4th generation. One is fly-by-wire control, composite, glass cockpit, and so two of the 4th generation technologies was developed at CSIR, and these are the complex fly-by-wire control system, which is a very improves agility and maneuvering and autopilot. We will show you one video of it so that we will get there. And this is the complex flight control architecture, where in the computer the fly-by-wire controller, which is developed at CSIR, resides. There was a technology Daniel for this particular controller development, and it was jointly taken by CSIR, DRDO to make it happen after the 1996. So there are the composite which has been developed for LCA, very complex composites which are for the weight reduction, if you see this, a total gambit of the composites used in civil and fighter aircraft, the LCA stands at the top. Almost 50% of the aircraft is with composites. So this has been come from the CSIR. So the head-up display, which was very tough that time, technology has been has been also developed by CSIR. With permission, sir, one 20-second video I will run, please, so that people will get appreciation of what is control.
CSIR flying high with Tejas, the first indigenous light combat aircraft, recently inducted into Indian Air Force. Tejas, world's smallest lightweight fighter aircraft, thanks to the use of CSIR developed advanced composites that constitute 45% by weight and 90% by area. CSIR, NAL and CSIR CSIO developed vital technologies and subsystems for Tejas, making its performance and operation cost-effective. CSIR, world-class flight control systems providing improved agility and maneuverability. CSIR wind tunnel facility held in phasing off aerodynamic design and configuration of Tejas. Head-up display system HUD developed at CSIR CSIO provides enhanced vision for navigation and weapon aiming. A big boost for Make in India mission of the Government of India. CSIR, the pride of Indian science.
So, for the next 5th and 6th generation of fighter aircraft, CSIR is working on stealth materials, sensors and integrated health monitoring like structural health monitoring or any other avionics sensor, quartz radome and FSS radome, composites, lightweight lithium aluminum alloy, wing morphine, coatings, configurable avionics. This is the new technology which is coming in next generation fighter aircraft, where avionics need not be made duplicated across the aircraft. It can be configured at one place, and based on the course of the aircraft, it can be taken more hardware and software resources, and the other resources can be managed. So that is called this an enhanced synthetic vision. Coming to civil aircrafts, if you see the country's geographical thing, we have 4 clusters, and there are very close cities Like if I say Delhi, Delhi Lucknow, Delhi Amritsar and all. And these are all within 300 to 500 kilometers. And there is no aircraft which can make a very effective connectivity to this for the employment, medical trade, rural development and all. So this was studied, and thanks to Udan scheme where government has promoted about 128 routes for regional connectivity. And if you see the today's thing, we have commuter aircrafts which are of 1970 or 1980 technology, and we have turboprop aircrafts of ATR, Bombardier and IL, which is about also 1970 technology. So CSR has studied the airline operators requirement. They have a very old aircrafts. They have flying trainer aircraft, which is very costly. They have higher specific fuel consumption. The cruise speed is low, and spare parts availability and everything is enormous costly affair. That's why this air connectivity is not improving in the country. Though we have 440 airports, we are just operating 125 airports. So we studied the flying training requirement, and we will be positioning Hansa NG, which is of full glass cockpit, and it will be positioned at the cost of 50 to 60% lower for flying training. So this will be given to all flying clubs to train the pilot, because since the passenger traffic is increasing almost threefolds, the pilots training aircrafts are very costly. So this is the first aircraft which will be coming out from production at 2020, and then MESCO is the partner for this. Second is SARAS, which is 19-seater aircraft. This is for about less than 300 kilometer distance. This is also sanctioned project. It will be have 19 seats and lot of technologies which is not in the recent aircrafts. I can show the comparison here. This will be certified by 2024 and production from 2025. One small video I will play here. I have, I think, 5 minutes.
Coming for the display.
2.5. Okay.
After the scintillating takeoff by the SARAS, now you can see the first indigenous multi-role light transport aircraft SARAS, designed by National Aerospace Laboratories. The modified prototype of SARAS PT-1, designated PT-1N, flying in front of you, is piloted by Wing Commander Uday Pratap Singh and Wing Commander Prabhakar.
So we will be putting a lot of composites and procured technologies in this, and also propulsion is also of high. This will have this layout with 19 packs and a toilet and all these things, and compliant to the FAR 23. We also, so this is training requirement has taken care, commuter connectivity requirement has taken care. Now we are working on 500 kilometer, 300 to 500 kilometers, 70 to 90 seater aircraft. So this proposal has been given to government. It will have a new generation turboprop engine and state-of-the-art glass cockpit, and all the reduction in acquisition and operation cost. And these are the technologies which will go. The important is laminar flow wing will become, and fly-by-wire flight control, avionics, maintenance will be cheaper, more electric, and all these technologies. So this aircraft will be, if everything goes well, yesterday only our DGCSR made a statement in the press, so everything goes well, within 6 to 7 years we will make this aircraft certified. So also we should not forget about electric propulsion. So these are the technologies for electric propulsion, so that is the future of aerospace civil aircraft. So there are a lot of advantages like lower emissions, lower noise, improved efficiency, and there are about 4 such a things: all electric, turbo electric, parallel hybrid and series hybrid. This I did not have to go through it because it is well understood one of these technologies. And CSIR has started on flight control actuators, lithium-ion batteries, fuel cells and configurable electron. And we will be putting our Hansa as an electric vehicle by 2025. So that is our vision, and we have a lot of aerospace test facilities which needs to be upgraded. So today the wind tunnel, which is giving about 1,500 blowdowns per year, is not sufficient because the requirement is about 11,000 blowdowns. So we will be going shortly to the closed loop type of wind tunnel, where here today the pressure gets accumulated and the blowdown happens. However, in the closed loop system, there is no accumulation of pressure. The compressor itself sucks the air. So this is how it is. And manufacturing also very important thing. Where CSIR, there are a lot of aircraft manufacturing industry, and CSIR is now working on 3D printing, Ziegler's assembly lines, laser beam welding, friction steel welding, Ziegler's welding line, and laser coating, which is the future of aerospace manufacturing for reduction of weight and also for the reliability. Thank you very much.